I'm Jill Butler, and I'm going to be coming to you today. Typically, I do training videos for a company called Trades of Hope. I'm a compassion entrepreneur, and we sell these amazing earrings that empower women out of poverty, trafficking, and abuse. But today I want to share with you a little bit about VIPKIDs and my second part of Mach 1. So I had a pretty good interview. I had to go to Mach 2, but I want to go over each slide and a couple things that I did or that I wish I would have done a little bit differently to kind of help me. I'm not going to go through it exactly for you because if I would have nailed it, then I would be doing exactly word for word what you should be doing. But just want to help you if you're joining and you are signing up to become a VIPKID teacher. I have this amazing t-shirt on. So I never wear t-shirts, right? And it's my husband's. So it's orange. I don't really even know if you're supposed to, but supposedly you are. So I just like follow the rules, and I'm not a rule follower. So, okay, so it's about my country. So I printed these out when you got the PDF. I printed out mine because I wanted to kind of review them in the car and just kind of like when I was waiting in this bus line and things like that. I signed up on a Tuesday. My sponsor was not exactly a lot of help. Like I could get kind of a feedback, but not really. Like now I know what I feel like when I don't respond to people. I was pretty excited and I wanted to get going and I got like no feedback. So I really want to make sure I give you feedback too. And just kind of be clear because I was like, what is this? Like I'm speaking to kids in China? What? Huh? What? Franchise? Okay. So my country is the first slide. And so this is not colored, but typically as you go through this, you should have yours in front of you right now. I'm going to coach you through Mach 1, Part 2. So I started off with country. Read with me. China is my country. It is the land where I was born. And you can kind of gauge, can they read it? Can they not? You can say, read with me. And if they read, China is my country. It is the land where I was born. Then you don't need to talk this slow in the interview. I did. And she told me that I talked too slow. I was like, girlfriend, do you know me in real life? I talk fast and I talk a lot. So that was one of my things on that, the downfall that I was like, okay, kind of shocked because I was trying to be slow and I was like, good job. And then I was like, what is a country? And I got this idea off of somebody else and I just kind of popped it all in one thing. I put a picture of a people, culture, land, language, and government. And I said, what is a country? And the interviewer said, China is my country. I said, yay. A country is China. The country is a nation with people, culture, land, language, and government. And I tried to hold it up as still and close as I could. I started to have her say people, and then I realized, oh my word, what am I doing? So don't do that because you will not have enough time, period. So don't do that. So then after my country, I went to flag. Read with me. This is the flag of my country. Yay! Good job. And then I was like, a flag, read with me. Or I don't really know what the right words are because she didn't really ever tell me that I said that wrong. So pretty much the whole time I said, read with me. If I hear read with me, I would think that we're reading together. So I should have said, Katie, read. And I felt like I was being weird, so I did that more towards the end. I should have done it the whole time. So when you're practicing, like really practice, like no words except for exactly what you're gonna do. I did practice, but honestly, y'all, I only practiced like once. I went through it to my head, like to myself, but I kind of was like, flag, read with me. Okay, she's gonna read, this is my flag of my country. And I just kind of started rambling. You kind of should practice a little bit more. So, read, Katie. A flag is a piece of cloth that can represent a country. You can underline it if you want. If she seems to be fluent with what they're doing, maybe not. If they're like, read, what are you talking about? Read with me. And then underline it. When you go and hold it, it'll underline it, and you let up on the cursor, it'll underline it. And then a flag is a piece of cloth that can represent a country if you have to help them. My girl said a flag is a piece of proof that can, and she said that word wrong, country, and I said, okay, a flag is a piece of cloth. And then she repeated that, and then I said, that can represent a country. And because I wanted to hear her say it nice and clear, okay? And then don't spend too much time on that one either, which I did because I ran out of time. So, which I didn't get totally docked for, but I kind of thought I did a little bit. So definitely don't spend too much time. I mean, it should be like a minute a clip until you get towards the end. I was spending like 2 minutes on these. It was way too long. I almost felt like the coach was kind of like dragging me out. Okay, the next one is, this is the American flag. So flag is underlined, so you're going to say flag. Read, Katie. This is the American flag. It represents America. And just make sure that she's got it and then move on, really. Okay, so this is what was interesting. I got docked for a little bit of spending too much time on this, but the funny part is I got docked on skipping something on my mock 1. So it says, what do these represent? And I circled the McDonald's sign, and she said, food. I said, the M represents food. And because that's what she used. You could say it represents French fries. And then I circled the Chinese letters, and I said, what does this represent? And she said, the language. And so I said, Chinese letters represent their language. And I thought she messed that one up too. So I went to the Mercedes, and I had a car ready, but I said, what does this represent? And she said, cars. And I wanted her to say, this represents cars. And if she would have done that, I guess I should have moved on. So as long as she gets 2-ish of them right. But then she messed up on one of them and didn't exactly get the McDonald's, and she finally got the car. So I thought I would go to the Nike, and then she didn't get it. And then I went to the Puma sign on this, and then she said I spent too much time on it. So I was kind of confused. I didn't want to talk back to my evaluator at all. And I respect it. So she's probably right. Like, I probably spent too much time on it because we ran out of time. But on my mock 1, part 1, I skipped. No, I didn't skip. I moved on pretty quickly. And because I thought she got it, and having been a teacher, I thought I could move on, and you're not supposed to. So I think as you get older, she's saying as long as you get this word represents, and they're saying the Chinese letters represent language, or M represents food, or Nike represents, as long as they're getting that, she was like, come on, let's move on. China is a country. This one I just said capital. Read, Katie. The capital of China is Beijing. And she didn't seem to care that I went down there first. And then I went up and said, China is a country with many people. And I said, capitals have a lot of people. And I had little Lego people. And I said, lots of people. People. And I said, good job. But I wanted her to read it, and I didn't want to be talking a lot, right? And then when I got to the landmarks, I said, landmarks. Read, Katie. In China, there are many famous landmarks. Famous landmarks. Famous landmarks. Mountains, the Great Wall. And then I went down, read with me. Or read, Katie. A landmark is a place or a building that is famous and important for a country. She was able to do that. And then I went down to some landmarks are made by people and some are natural. And then I was just going to flip to this page to sort, and we ran out of time. So I actually didn't get to this one and this one with my mock 2. But I know that I passed, my mock 1, part 2. I know that I passed my mock 1 with pretty good because I was energetic. I was excited. For this mock 1, part 2, I used the ice cream cones for the reward, and I added ice cream. But I did, I did 1 after flag, and then I was just getting to go do another one, and then another one after the next one. And so I kind of was like a little bummed that I didn't get to the last part. I used this, and then I had a, let's see if I had anything else ready to go. Oh, I had this made by people. I was going to start saying this whenever I was going to say draw a line. So I was going to circle the Great Wall. I just went to circle the Great Wall, and I said landmarks, landmarks, famous landmarks of China, famous landmarks of China. Circled the Great Wall. The Great Wall, made by people or natural? And then I got ran out of time. And I was going to have her draw a line. So I don't know if I was doing it right. And then the other thing I was going to do with the C is this. So if you're watching this, I'll finish up with this. Obviously, always have a whiteboard. I had a lot of my props kind of ready, so I didn't have to use too much of a whiteboard. This was from Mach 1. So I had this ready to go. And I was going to say C-E-C-I-C-Y makes the sound when C-E-C-I-C-Y or something like are together, they make the sound. Read this, or what does it say? And I don't know if we're supposed to say literally the soft C, so I never made it that far. So you're gonna want to make sure you watch YouTube clips for that. So anyways, got Sugar behind me. He's pointing to the ABCs. Peace. Have a great day.